Hi, I'm Simon Candlish, and welcome to Marvelous Videos, Scarlet Witch Anatomy Explored. Scarlet Witch is one of those Marvel characters who has undergone a lot of changes across timelines and story arcs, and has now displayed a versatile range of powers. While some comics show her as an extremely strong being, she is even unable to deal with Thanos in other stories. She also has a very unique anatomy that allows her to perform chaos magic and even alter reality. Scarlet Witch is an incredibly complex character whose powers are boundless, and today we will be exploring everything about her unique physiology and abilities. Before we go on to our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. Why is Wanda Maximoff called the Scarlet Witch? In the comic books, Wanda Maximoff and her twin brother Pietro were born to a woman named Magda in the Balkan Mountains in Transia. Wanda's father was a mutant who had suddenly developed terrible powers and scared Magda to the extent that she ran away from him for the security of her children. After Magda ran away from home and arrived in the citadel of Wundagore in Transia, she gave birth to Wanda and Pietro. This citadel was also the home of the new men who looked like cows. Magda was afraid of her husband coming after her children, so she soon left the citadel and handed Wanda and Pietro in the custody of a cow woman named Bova. Bova then visited the ruler of Wundagore, who entrusted a childless gypsy couple named Django and Maya Maximoff with the responsibility of raising Wanda and Pietro. As Wanda grew up, she discovered that strange things happened when she was in a specific state of mind and started discovering her powers. Her new parents were soon caught robbing the villagers, and they abandoned her and ran away in order to escape any punishment. After a few years, a grown Wanda wandered around the village and accidentally set a cottage on fire. The local villagers started calling her the dark-haired Scarlet Witch and chased her away. Pietro tried to come to her rescue, and the brother-sister duo were finally rescued by Magneto, who happened to pass by the village. Magneto claimed that Wanda and Pietro were under his protection, and he even took them in and told them about all their true identity as mutants. After releasing her true powers, Wanda then took on the name Scarlet Witch, which was first given to her by the villagers. Evolution of the powers of Wanda till she turns to chaos magic. When Wanda was a part of Magneto's Brother of Evil mutants in the X-Men comics, she was mostly described as a mutant child of Magneto. However, the Avengers and X-Men Access Ministries established that this was not true, and that Wanda was in fact genetically altered by a villain known as High Evolutionary. This story declared that Wanda was not a mutant and did not possess any mutant powers. However, in the Captain America Winter Soldier series, Wanda and Pietro were shown to be the only survivors of Hydra's experimentations with the Mind Stone. This was shown in a mid-credits scene, which also revealed that Wanda had gained the ability to perform telepathy and telekinesis due to these experiments. In an episode of WandaVision, Agatha Harkness also elaborates on Wanda's powers in this continuity and states that a young Wanda once used a probability hex to stop a missile from detonating. This occurred long before she was involved with Hydra's experiments, proving that Wanda was born with some powers. In Age of Ultron, Wanda displayed some limited telepathic powers, and she could read the minds of people and place them in a trance. She had much more control over her telekinesis, which gave her the ability to lift heavy objects and even people with her mind. She used this ability to destroy the Mind Stone in Infinity War, and even fight Thanos in Avengers Endgame. In the comic books, Wanda initially relied on her mutant hex abilities and only gradually gained power and started using real magic. She only gained her magical powers after the elder god Chthon tried to enter the world by possessing Wanda's body, thereby giving her a lot more powers and the ability to perform chaos magic. Her powers later strengthened under the eye of Agatha Harkness and gradually became strong enough for her to be able to bend reality. At this point, she conjured up two sons with vision by using the life force of the evil Mephisto. While Wanda's chaos magic was not really explained in the MCU until WandaVision, the comics describe it as the most potent form of magic. magic. Any being who can perform chaos magic has the ability to warp reality and manipulate objects and even people in a new form. Wanda was exposed to chaos magic when Scython tried to corrupt her body at her birth itself, and her magical abilities later strengthened with some help from Agatha Harkness. Wanda's ability to use chaos magic was also shown in the House of M storyline, where Wanda uses her magic to reshape the whole world into a utopia. In the MCU, Wanda's chaos magic is not quite as strong as it is in the comics, since Wanda can't really transform the whole world. In WandaVision, her ability to warp reality is restricted within worldview and extends the borders of this place. It causes Wanda to lose control of this reality. Nevertheless, her powers are quite remarkable, and Agatha Harkness even comments on how impressed she is with what Wanda has done without receiving any formal training. WandaVision really explored Wanda's chaos powers in an extensive manner, and further even incorporated it in Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness. Exploring some of her special powers. Telekinesis. Scarlet Witch uses a telekinesis to move objects and people using her mental capabilities, and this is one of her most frequently used powers. Wanda's telekinetic abilities are strong enough to even lift entire human beings and suspend them in the air or fling them around. Teleportation. While Wanda's teleportation abilities have not really been portrayed on screen in the MCU, she does have the ability to teleport whenever she wishes to escape a situation or take her opponents by surprise. Her teleportation abilities also help her confuse her opponents during an attack, and they are especially powerful when paired with her magical powers. Magical projectile attacks. Wanda often uses magical projectile attacks to push her opponents off balance or even strike them with force. Since the Scarlet Witch has the power of magic on her side, she can use these magical attacks to even defeat enemies who are considerably larger and more potent than her. Energy manipulation. Scarlet Witch has the ability to project blast, streams, or waves of energy at her opponents to injure them or even blow them up. She can manipulate energy in any form and even pair it with her telekinetic powers to inflict more damage. Power of illusion. The Scarlet Witch has the ability to manipulate people mentally and even cast illusions that can trap them in their heads. Wanda usually uses this ability to create illusions of a victim's worst fears and then trap them in their heads for as long as she wishes. She can also use this power to convince people to follow her orders or even alter their personalities. Scarlet Witch's power of illusion is one of her best powers, and it is strong enough to even fool the likes of Doctor Strange. She can also create entirely new realities wherein she can change anything and everything to fit her own needs and even resurrect people. Can the Scarlet Witch revive the dead? Scarlet Witch does have the power to resurrect the dead, and she has also exhibited this power in a few instances. Scarlet Witch needs to push all the boundaries of chaos magic to use necromancy, that is, the ability to conjure the spirits of the dead. Not only can she achieve necromancy, but she can also expand on this ability to ensure that the person does not die. Wanda displayed this power in WandaVision, wherein she revived Vision. She also once resurrected Wonder Woman in the Avengers comics. However, there are limits to her ability to revive the dead, and she can only achieve this in a few circumstances. Why could Scarlet Witch not beat Thanos? Wanda's powers have greatly varied across storylines, and she's been portrayed as an extremely powerful being in Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness. With that level of magic by her side, fans have wondered how she could not defeat Thanos in Avengers Endgame. In Endgame, Wanda crushed Thanos with his own armor in a fit of rage, but this was not enough to defeat the Titan. An explanation for this was provided in the Multiverse of Madness, which confirms that Wanda's rage towards Thanos would never have sufficed in killing him. Wanda's magic and powers are ultimately related to the Darkhold, a book of spells containing dark magic. The Scarlet Witch had only recently acquired the Darkhold, and her powers leveled up after this. While she was powerful earlier in the story arcs surrounding the Infinity War, she was not yet a match for Thanos. The Mad Titan had easily defeated her and killed Vision when they fought in Wakanda. Even in Endgame, he could easily overpower her. Wanda only truly unleashed her rage after losing Vision and her kids in the Westview fiasco, and she finally channeled her dark side. She also gained the Darkhold and became a much more powerful version of the Scarlet Witch, who could bend reality to unimaginable extent. After losing her kids, Wanda set out on a mission to find them. She then came across the Illuminati, which consisted of Professor Xavier, Black Bolt, Reed Richards, Captain Marvel, and Captain Carter. The Scarlet Witch unleashed all her rage on them and showed a scary side wherein she sealed Black Bolt's mouth shut, cut Captain Carter's body in half, and even dropped a statue on Captain Marvel. She also snapped Professor X's neck, and all this was only possible because of the power she gained from the Darkhold. This also explains why she was unable to defeat Thanos earlier, and she had not reached her full potential. While that is said, Scarlet Witch could easily defeat Thanos if she ever came across an alternate version of this mad titan in the future. All about Wanda and Vision's kids. Can she have kids? Vision and the Scarlet Witch comic series revealed that after Wanda and Vision fell in love and settled together, they also had 2 children named Billy and Tommy. However, these children were not conceived conventionally and were actually created by Wanda's magic. Wanda had given them life from the missing shard that were part of Mephisto's Soul Stone. Since Tommy and Billy were conjured out of magic, they were later reabsorbed by Mephisto. Scarlet Witch's memory of her children was also wiped away, and she then went into a frenzy and wreaked havoc on a huge scale. She started warping reality to an extent where most mutants had been wiped out, and Magneto had become king of the world. These events kick-started the Chaos House of M storyline, and Wanda's kids were later reincarnated as Wiccan and Speed. These new versions of Wanda's kids even resembled Wanda and her sibling, Quicksilver, in their powers. While Wiccan had some of Wanda's powers, Speed's powers were nearly identical to those of Quicksilver's. While this was the comic book storyline, the MCU had a different approach when it came to Wanda's kids. While they were still created out of Wanda's magic, these kids vanished at the end of the series, and Wanda was seen searching for them even in the end credits. Does the Scarlet Witch crown resemble a uterus? Scarlet Witch's new avatar in the Multiverse of Madness truly shocked the audience, as she unleashed the true nature of her powers and stole the show. One thing that caught the audience's notice was her crown, which seemingly resembled a uterus with the Mind Stone above it. While Wanda's crown is a regular piece of headgear, one can see that the center actually represents the uterus, which could also symbolize Wanda's motherhood and the amount of importance she gives to the family and her children. While the crown definitely has a unique shape, there have been no official comments regarding this, and these theories are merely speculation from fans. Is Scarlet Witch immortal? While Scarlet Witch's powers make her invulnerable to a lot of things, she is not technically immortal. Even with all her powers, Wanda is still essentially human, and her body is not durable enough to withstand physical attacks. The chaos magic that runs through her blood does not enable her to become invincible to attacks, and while she is a powerful being who can put up a fight, she is still quite susceptible to fatalities. This is also known as a glass cannon, which is a term used to describe a character with a very highly offensive power, but a feeble defense. Of course, this does not mean that any simple attack can kill her. Scarlet Witch has the ability to use her magic to prolong her life. She can influence matter and energy to a great extent, even to the point where she can influence her bodily cells and aging process. She also has the ability to disintegrate any weapons by altering their matter, so it's quite a challenge to actually kill her. Besides, she herself mentions that she can always find her way back from death in the X-Men comics, which establishes the fact that she can be killed. Some superheroes who could defeat Scarlet Witch. While Scarlet Witch is slowly becoming one of the most powerful entities in the Marvel Universe, some superheroes such as Doctor Strange, Hulk, and Spider-Man do have the potential to defeat her. Doctor Strange has the highest chance of beating Wanda out of those heroes since both their powers lie in their magical abilities. While Strange did succeed in de-escalating the situation with Wanda in the madness of multiverse, Wanda surely put up a good fight, and the two more or less have equal capabilities. However, there is also the question of whether the Scarlet Witch's magic is more potent than Doctor Strange's, and the answer is yes. Wanda does have more powerful magic on her side, but this also comes with her rage, which causes her to lose focus on reality. On the other hand, Doctor Strange remains grounded, uses his intellect, and weighs all his options and resources before launching any attacks. This comes as a significant advantage for Doctor Strange, and he can definitely beat Scarlet Witch with all his knowledge. While Vision is not really a part of the MCU now, he is one of the most capable beings who will be able to defeat Wanda. Given their history, Wanda is quite vulnerable around him, and she would never suspect that he would want to have any ulterior motives for defeating her. Vision would be easily able to blindside her, and Wanda would be pretty hesitant to ever attack Vision after all that he has done for his sake. Moreover, Wanda trusts Vision greatly, and he seems to be the only person capable of talking to her and making her see reason when she goes into a rage. While this does not count as defeating her, Vision can surely help her see sense when she is being a danger to others. In the hypothetical situation where Wanda and Vision really do have a face-off, Vision is a lot less likely to be bound by Wanda's tricks since his body is made of vibranium and he cannot be hurt the way most humans are. After Shang-Chi inherited the 10 rings of power from his father, he became a lot more powerful and even got an offer to join the Avengers. Shang-Chi's 10 rings were mostly used in the movies to generate force fields. Still, they have a lot of potential, and each ring has a unique ability ranging from the ability to control gravity to even controlling matter. This can all build up to a fight between Shang-Chi and Wanda, and with some training, Shang-Chi could even defeat the Scarlet Witch. In the Avengers comics, the Avengers once joined a local circus to display their powers after a law made it illegal for superheroes to exist. Along with Hawkeye and Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch also joined this circus, where they worked for the villain, the Ringmaster. One of the Ringmaster's minions, Princess Python, attacked Scarlet Witch and even covered her eyes. Wanda then struggled to use her hex and revealed that she could not use her powers if her eyes were covered. In the MCU, superheroes like Spider-Man can easily defeat the Scarlet Witch by using his weakness to their advantage. Spider-Man is especially known for covering his opponent's face with his webs, and he even did this to Thanos. While Spider-Man cannot really defeat Scarlet Witch for good, he can most certainly use his power to temporarily take her out and then pair up with another Avengers to beat her. Another superhero who can defeat Wanda is the mighty Hulk, who can use his raw strength to fight his way through Scarlet Witch's magic. While Wanda has been able to mind control the Hulk before, the superhero's strengths are limitless, and the Hulk is capable of becoming angrier and stronger to the point where he actually defeats Scarlet Witch. Conclusion: Scarlet Witch is genuinely one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe at this point, and her powers, as well as her ability to perform chaos magic, make her a huge threat to the multiverse. Her unique anatomy and grief and rage towards the world come together to make her an incredibly complex character whose powers have no limits. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.